Hello. Yeah, I was scrolling through Facebook yesterday and came across this post actually. Thought it was quite interesting actually. It says you sit there scrolling through Instagram, drooling over the so-called perfect lives of the rich and famous, wishing you had their money, their cars, their mansions, but they would trade places with you in a heartbeat. That's right. While you're fantasising about their wealth, they're secretly dying for the simple life you take for granted. Matthew Perry, the guy who made you laugh on Friends, you think he had it all? Newsflash, he was miserable. Right, his own assistant, someone who's supposed to be his closest ally, was mocking him, bleeding him dry, treating him like a human ATM. Cash point for those. He died alone, surrounded by people who didn't give a damn about him as a person. All that money, all that fame, and in the end he was just another lonely soul who couldn't buy an ounce of real happiness. Is that really the life you're envying? Elon Musk, a billionaire, one of the richest men on the planet, and you think he's living the dream? Wake up. His own children have turned their backs on him. His own father despises him. And it goes on to say he's admitted to using the same substances that destroyed Matthew Perry. And here's a reality check. Remember when Musk got hair plugs after he cashed in on PayPal? You think those hair plugs brought him happiness? Think again. While you're dreaming about his billions, Musk is sitting there wishing he had something real, something you probably have and don't even appreciate. He's lonely, isolated, and drowning in a sea of money that can't save him. Here's the harsh truth no one wants to admit. While you're drooling over their wealth, they're dreaming of the simple life you take for granted. They'd trade all their money, their fame, their perfect lives just to have what you have. Real friends, family that actually cares, and a life free from the toxic mess of fame. They're trapped in a world where everyone is out to use them, where every relationship is a transaction, where trust is non-existent. Is that really the life you want? You think money is the answer to all your problems? Think again. Money won't buy you happiness, it won't buy you love, and it sure as heck won't buy you peace of mind. It'll buy you loneliness, paranoia, and a life where everyone around you is waiting to take advantage. That's the real cost of fame and fortune. But go ahead, tell me I'm wrong. Maybe you still think their money's worth it. If you do, let's hear why. Okay, so yeah, he actually does make some quite interesting points there. Do I agree with that post? Yes and no. Like I say, he does bring up some good points, and for me, if I was rich and famous, yeah, I'd probably be very distrustful. I mean, I am now as it is, but I'd be like, let's say I'm out or something, and if I'm being approached by women, it constantly I'd be constantly questioning it, going, are they really actually interested in me, genuinely for me, or is it just the fact that I'm famous? Is it just my money? Cause there's a lot of celebrities out there that have got millions and all that, and they've got partners half their age. And I'm not saying in all cases, but in a lot of cases, that they're just with them just for the money, really, and the fame and everything else it brings, really. If they was just a regular Joe, then they wouldn't give them the time of day, basically. So if I was rich and famous, that's probably the one thing that would be going through my mind, really. And people wanting to hang out with me, or people wanting to be my friends, and I'd be like, well, where was you before when I had nothing? Do you know what I mean? And I would constantly be questioning it all the time. I'd be questioning everybody, really. I mean, if I wasn't famous, if I was rich and no one knew about it, then that'd probably be different because they wouldn't know. But yeah, if I was like a big celebrity and I was rich and famous and all that, then yeah, it it would be in the back of my mind all the time, like, you know, is this person genuinely here because they genuinely like me, you know, or are they just freeloaders basically, or just want to, you know, get to know me for what I've got or for what I can do for them. But, you know, if I was rich and famous, I would be able to buy myself a huge mansion or something. I would still do my strongman training. I could buy a big shed. I could have a big garden, make a track for my moving events. I'll tell you now, if I had millions, like nothing would change. I would still do my strongman, still do it. I'd just be able to do it on my own. Wouldn't have to worry about people walking in front of the track. Wouldn't have to wait for machines or weights or whatever. It'd all be mine. I could have whatever equipment I wanted, do it my way, how I want, when I want. Be great. Wouldn't have to go to work. Wouldn't have to be anywhere at a certain time. Wouldn't have to deal with people I don't want to deal with. You know. So yeah, in many ways it would be great. I'd love to, not so much be famous, but just be rich. You know, I just want to not have to worry about money, and just be in a position where I can do what I want to do when I want to do it. I think I'll say there's pros and cons to anything really, and as well, if you're rich and famous and all, you're gonna have like people trying to get photos of you as well and all that. You get lots of celebrities. Some of them can't even leave the house without reporters crawling around the corner trying to take snaps or get interviews or film or whatever. That would really piss me off, to be honest. I'd be like, look, go away. Right. I'd probably still be a private person. You know, I probably wouldn't do interviews. I mean, it depends what line I'd be in really, and what I'd be famous for. Because there's like actors out there and celebrities that are quite private. Actually, they don't really do it. Stanley Kubrick, the famous movie director, he was one of them type of guys. He only directed 13 movies. You've probably heard of some of them: The Shining, Full Metal Jacket, Eyes Wide Shut, etc. And it was very rare that he did interviews, gave interviews. Quite a very close person as far as his private life is concerned. Jack Nicholson, he's another one. Jack's about 87 now. Apparently he's not very well now, but he's the other kind of guy that he's very private. You know, not a lot is known about what he's doing now. He retired from acting, and but the thing is, every now and again, you know, a photo will crop up. Someone's always trying to get a photo of him, see how he's doing and all that. But the thing is, when they go after these celebrities, they're really doing it for themselves, though, just to get that picture or get that interview or whatever. And you know, I'm quite a private person myself, and you know, even if I had millions and was rich and famous, I'd probably be like, I just want to do what I want to do, basically. And if I was going to do interviews, it'd probably be only just to like promote what I'm trying to do. For example, if I was a movie star, obviously I'd probably do interviews just to like promote the movie and all that, and just talk about that basically. Because Robert Downey Jr. he did an interview once and he actually walked off of it because I think he was being interviewed. I've seen the interview, but I can't remember what year it was. But he was being interviewed. I think it was for one of his Iron Man movies. And the interviewer, I forget his name, but he started asking Robert Downey Jr. about his past and all that, and Robert Downey Jr. wasn't impressed with that, and he was like, "Well, what we're talking about? I'm here just to talk about the movie. I'm here to do this interview to promote the movie. You know, my past is not relevant. I don't want to talk about it." And I think the interviewer pressed him on it, so Robert Downey Jr. quite rightly got up and walked off, and I don't blame him. I'd have done the same. So yeah, I can understand where that post is coming from. You know, being rich and famous would definitely have its downside. But I mean, obviously, until I've actually done it, if I ever do, I can't really speak. But I can see logically how it would have its downside. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of people's stress and worries is about not having enough money. You know, we're pretty much all in the same boat, really. I mean, I think for me, more than anything, I just want peace of mind, just knowing everything's going to be all right in the end. Obviously, it won't be, because eventually one day I'm going to die. But money supports life. You know, if you've got money, you can do what you want. And I would love to be financially well off and just not have to worry about money. It would be one thing where a lot of stress will be taken away. I mean, I'm 43 in November. I don't have any grey hair at all. I've still got a full head of hair because I've always tried to keep stress down. I've never been married and I ain't got any kids, so I do think that's helped as well. The fact that I haven't had the stress that a lot of guys my age have got. I mean, I know guys that are younger than me that are going grey or bald or whatever, and you know they've been married, probably been through a divorce, had the stress of not seeing their kids, had the stress of work, and stuff just gets in the way. Whereas my life is, and it's probably one of the reasons why my strongman training is still going well, because I've in some ways had the luxury, and I've made it so that my life has been pretty linear. I try my level best to keep stress to a minimum. It's not always easy, but this is where you need to be mentally tough as well as physically tough, and I've always tried to be mentally tough as well and try not to stress or let life get me down. I mean, as it will, because stress is a big killer, it really is, and I've realised that now that I'm in my 40s as I've got older. And yeah, I certainly you just want peace of mind, really. You try not to worry about anything. I try not to worry about anything, because at the end of the day, worrying doesn't do anything, and it just makes life harder. And I really do admire them guys that seemingly don't worry about anything. You know, they don't let things get to them. They're happy-go-lucky. I wish I could be like that, and sometimes I am. But yeah, not having to worry about money would obviously be a huge weight off my shoulders. It would certainly being rich certainly takes the sting out of being poor. I'll say that. So yeah. If I was rich and famous, I'd still do my strongman. Still have quite a private life. Wouldn't go around broadcasting it, throwing lots of money around, trying to act like a big I am. I mean, yeah, I'd love to have a new car. I'd like to have this and that, but I don't think I would be over the top in a materialistic fashion. I would just get the things that I wouldn't. If I had millions, I wouldn't buy stuff just for the sake of buying stuff. You know, I've always been quite a minimalistic sort of person. I just have what I need and no more. And sometimes I even get rid of stuff if I feel that it's not needed. I've always tried to have that minimalist attitude. I mean, some people are just hoarders. They just got to have stuff for the sake of having stuff. I know people that are like that, and I'm the opposite of a hoarder. I'd rather not have stuff. You know, the less I've got, the less clutter in my life, the better. So yeah, that's my thought for today. And if I was rich and famous, I'd still be Glenn, I'd still be me, and I'd still do strongman.